Oh, we live. Okay, BTC, 103K last night. There was a bit of a sell-off. Those alts dumped damn hard, and they hit some interesting zones. So we're picking up now that we're getting a little altcoin move, and I thought, well, let's get some live trading going. Maybe there's a couple of things happening here. I'm sure a lot of you, after that sell-off yesterday, want to know where you're taking profit, where's your next short, what are we going to do, and what is the plan? So, guys, we're here. The chart hackers are here, and we got the squad. So let's get into this. And remember, guys, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, and hit the subscribe. Obviously, triple smash the like if you like live Saturday trading, because this is going to be a regular thing if you guys love it. So make sure you are loving it and you are subscribed. Look who I've got. Straight out of Hackers. Somebody got rinsed. Nice shirt,
hello,
bro.
sirs. I thought it was appropriate to wear this today.
We took a hiding last night. What happened to you? Tell me the story. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it full?
I thought I caught that bounce, and we actually caught a lot of positions, but it was a double dip, if you will, and that kind of
double
sucked.
dip, bro. Same for me. So yeah, I caught a couple of those moves, and then they came around and they absolutely dumped it on us. But interestingly, guys, we hit some amazing areas on these alts, and a lot of those zones that we covered yesterday, probably got about an 80 or 90% hit rate in those levels I gave you yesterday. So hopefully some of you guys picked up some of those entries. Panda is busy hunting a couple of higher time frame charts for us at the moment, and he's going to give you his thoughts as well after I've run through BTC. And then obviously, guys, we're going to hunt some DGen shit here. Okay, we're going to look for, if there's a breakout to take, we're going to take it. Okay, let's go. So hang around, Panda. He's here with his rinsed shirt, obviously feeling the pain. Guys, let us know in the chats who else got a little bit of lickies there. I see Mark's in the chat. Hello, sir. Who took lickies? Come on, guys. Be honest. It's Saturday. Who took lickies last night? Okay, I got a hiding on a couple. I've been managing and nursing this FARTCOIN position here, and hopefully it's going to come right for us here. Okay, there, Crypto Candy says FARTCOIN giving me fart. Look, guys, it was messy. Who gets the lickies shirt? Okay, so let's take a look here. Liquidation, 660 million in the last 24 hours. I suspect it was a lot worse a couple of hours back. And let's see how this day goes. So now let's jump into some of the important things. Let's go higher time frame first. So in terms of BTC, we actually even haven't touched the lows that I wanted to see just yet. So there's a part of me that says we still need to come down here before we get a nice bounce. But okay, it's the weekend. We'll take what they are prepared to give us. So in terms of big levels on BTC today, 103 is our support, a little bit lower down, 101 to 100K. It makes a lot of sense to me in terms of a bounce zone. Now, on the daily chart, what could we possibly look at here? If there is a sustained push, you can see our previous big daily support is now going to be our major resistance band. So we keep it really simple here. And 106, 107 is a big danger zone. So if there is a strong push, it's a no FOMO zone. And we're probably going to just look at something like that for BTC on the way down. We're going to have to see, obviously, day by day how this plays out. And chart hackers are here every day, and I'm here every day. And, we'll go step by step. But if there is a hard push on BTC, that's pretty much what I'm seeing at the moment on that daily chart. Now, in terms of the lower time frame, well, I think we were due for some kind of bounce. Look at that. We had double bullish divergence printing here on the magic oscillator on the 2 hour, and the signs were there. Obviously, it was a lot of pain to the downside here, and this is obviously why I kept on hanging onto that long of mine and just waiting for this little reversal there. So that is still in play for us. Then in terms of what's going on now on the lower time frames, what are we looking at? So yesterday we spoke about 103K. Why was that a big level for me? Well, it was our 786 fib. We had some nice horizontal tie-in, and I had a beautiful VWAP backing us up here. Look at that little zone. So we knew there was balance of probabilities. That is where they were going to put the brakes on there on BTC. So we nailed that 103, and I was just telling Panda offline, I had a limit order to add to that long at 103K on the button. And I think they went to 103.36 or whatever it was on that buy bit. So it was a little bit messy. But in terms of what happens now, guys, 103, that's your clear support. Next big level to the downside, we're looking at 101 down to 100K. And that ties in with that big daily chart that I've just shown you. So this is definitely on the table for us as another bounce zone. And then up zone, guys, this is what you're watching today. This is going to tell us a lot as to what goes down here. 105K, you can see we are there right now, 105. Then you've got 106. That's also a big zone for me. And then just under 107. So nice clean numbers here. These are all potential rejection zones. If we pump into these areas, this is where we can get into a little bit of trouble. If you are late longing and these types of things, you're trying to catch breakouts, be careful in these areas. These are the big danger zones to the upsides here. And now, guys, remember, these charts that you see on these trading shows, they all go straight into Chart Hackers as well after the show. So you'll be able to pick them up there as well if you guys are a Hackers member. Okay, so there's my current BTC situation. Let's talk what we think happens next. I'm keen to hear what Panda's views are as the next play for the next, say, 24, 48 hours. Where are you seeing things at the moment, bro?
Well, just like you were talking about how you missed your long on Bitcoin and kind of front ran it a little bit, that corresponds a lot with your top layer alts. I see a lot of them front ran their macro rising trend touches and their 618s. So it gives me an idea that probably by Sunday or Monday, we might get a flush where the current lows on these alts will hold. But, you know, if you're opening positions over the weekend, you might round trip. And that will be our proper entries, because I think they still need to pull back a little bit to hit their major 618s. So
yeah, a similar sentiment to me. I do think we get a decent return bounce on this alt market, but yeah, we got to hold those lows first if we do get a flush, and that is obviously what I'm going to look for. So remember, we've had a massive sell-off now this weekend. There's probably going to be some dump into Asia on Sunday. We'll obviously cover that on the Sunday banger in Chart Hackers, and we'll obviously look to hold those lows from those altcoins. If not, well, it's rinse time, and we're going to be hunting some new levels. Michelle says, Litecoin rinse me, should never have waited for the news. Michelle, I agree. What an absolute dog shit coin. And I took the stop on that too. Don't you worry. I felt the deep burn on fucking Litecoin. It's like the biggest slap in the face to get stopped out on Litecoin.
You know, dude, that tells you how bad the market is.
Dude, it's so bad. Why was I even trading Litecoin? Such dog shit. So yeah, I'm on your side there, Michelle. I totally get what you're telling us there. And cool. Okay, let's go. So let's talk about a couple of things going on at the moment. So I've jumped into a couple of scalps. Things are a little bit sketchy at the moment. So not playing too aggressively. You can see there's a couple of green things at the moment, but a little bit late to the party. Okay, so we're going to go through some of these trades. We're going to look at some of these areas that got hit. We're going to see if these areas are sustainable. So let's start out with a big dog. Let's look at ETH. And in terms of levels that we were looking at late yesterday, in terms of the big zones for ETH, we actually front ran that a little bit as well. So we didn't quite smash that area. So for me, ETH 2,450, this is still a big area that I want to pay attention to. And there's something about me tells me, you know, something about this tells me we might want to come back into that zone. But positives for ETH at the moment, the 2 hour is reversing. We're getting multiple reversal prints. So that might be a sign that we do just grind higher a little bit more this weekend before we get some kind of possible sell-off there on ETH. Okay, so that is the first one. Your big zone, 2,450 is what I've got. Now let's talk SOL. This was straight into the pocket. Now we put you a major bounce zone, and this was a big area for us on the weekend and on this pullback, obviously. And why was this important? It's a macro 382 here. I've got big horizontals. I've got the 50-day MA as well. So we knew this is a typical zone where you're going to put the brakes on. So if they do drop it quite fast, this is a typical hot zone that you learn about in the accelerator course. So 152, this is our first area. If you are looking for action here, there is possible reversals on SOL now on the 4 hour coming. My only concern at the moment is this negative cash flow that is printing down. So in the ideal situation, we want to see this cash flow level out and then start turning up. Okay, and that is what we want to see there. So just be a little bit patient. But in terms of SOL right now, levels of interest, we've dropped straight into that 152, 153. So nibbling around here. Let's see if this holds. You can see I am nibbling in SOL at the moment. If we're going to get some momentum, we'll obviously add to that one and give it a little bit of a bump. Okay, so that is SOL. Then we've got SUI. This was also an absolute banger or absolute screamer straight into the zone. Now we obviously want to see if the SUI is going to hold. In terms of reversals on the 8 hour, we're printing, but we're not quite there in terms of divergences yet and things like that. So need to be a little bit watchful on this guy. But in terms of dropping into a big possible bounce zone and getting a possible possible move out of this thing. This was our big one, this 3.22 down to 3.12. I think we were looking at yesterday, and we've got a nice close above that trend for now. So we can use that as our support, 3.12, 3.15. You can use that as your interim support. Then if this does push higher, we don't want to get too excited with life. Let's look at 3.5, that type of region, and 3.74. I wouldn't look much higher than that until they come and absolutely kill us one more time. Okay, so Sui, you've got the support region, you've got the two big zones to the upside that I'm looking at, and this is the 8-hour chart. Let's look at poppies as well. Also, straight into the pocket. Look at this absolute banger, and you can see you can see the importance of candle closing here. So once again, this candle dropped through. They cleaned out, they flushed everyone out. Look where the candle closes. Okay, always important to watch for those candle closes, folks, when you hit those zones. Now, POPCAT, we had two areas yesterday. I had to take the stop on that first zone. So we had about a 4 or 5% bounce here. Then we had to take the stop bang into the slot. So now POPCAT's got a little bit of energy, but again, don't want to get too excited about this guy. We got to try and figure out, how far can this go before we get some kind of short opportunity. And when you look at it in simple terms like this, you can see there is a major resistance band up here. So if we do get some kind of euphoric move into tomorrow, I think this is going to make sense to be a really nice short area for us on POPCAT. So what you're looking for later on, 436, 425, that type of area could be a really nice short zone. So I just want to highlight this guy for you. And you're going to look for those rejections in that area if there is momentum. So that could be a nice cover after a nice euphoric weekend pump. Look at that. Okay, we got 382 action there as well. So just look out for that to the upside, guys. Let's just close that out there. Bang. Okay, so 43 up to about 44, that type of region looks like a nice short zone there for us on POPCAT. Then in terms of what do we do now? Well, in terms of bullish support that you can play with reasonably, what I would say is use your 8-hour candle low. Okay, so if you start losing that 8-hour candle low, that's probably an exit plan there for you at 347 on POPCAT. So 347 is where you want to bail on POPCAT if this thing does start pushing a little bit lower. Now, obviously, the signs are there that on these lower time frames, you can see a couple of reversal prints. My only concern again, and this is another one, this cash flow needs to start turning to the upside. I want to see, some action coming back there. We want to see that tilting higher to give us that confidence. But you can see a nice clean picture here, guys, where we can exit if we do get a nice pump on the markets. Do you like this one, bro? A little bit of a shorty here.
Absolutely.
It's asking a bit much, though. Hey, it's quite a big pump if we're looking at this thing.
I mean, alts look hungry for a weekend manipulation, aren't they? Like everything is moving at the moment. Maybe we get like a blow off top leading into Monday sell-off.
Look, guys, I think anybody want to know what the plan is here at the moment, I'd say we generally kind of bearish. Okay, so, if there are any moves here to the upside, we are looking to take profits. We are looking for some exit plans, some shorts, and we're going to try and cover, once Panda's finished with some of his higher time frame charts, we're going to go into some degen setups here where we can try and dial in some more shorts for you guys as well and maybe get some scalp longs. Okay, so stick around if you're enjoying it. Hit that like, hit the bell. You know what to do, guys. Okay, so let's go through a couple more big ones from the other day. This is S from yesterday. This was one of our big zones. We had two big areas, and again, they've dropped it in here. They've slammed the brakes on at this 38 region. So this is a long zone here for S that we identified. And if this region is going to hold, guys, you keep it really simple. In terms of upside, I don't think you're going to see much more than a bearish retest. So that would be ideal. And then you're probably going to get some downside here. So if things go super aggressive this weekend, make sure that is your short zone there. That whole region from 427 up to 44, that is a major rejection zone there. For me on S, I would be super careful if we pump into that zone. So just look out there. Let's just highlight this for you guys. Something like that is going to make a lot of sense to me. Okay, and then we'll probably go and take out that lower band. Okay, so right now you've got your support for longs, 376. That is your first line of support, 376. If there is a push to the upside, that is your exit plan, 432, 44. That is where you're jumping out. In terms of reversals, You can see this 12 hours really trying at the moment, but this cash flow is heavily oversold. But the minute we see this thing start turning up, it's going to get interesting, okay? And then we're gonna have a little bit of fun when that thing starts moving a little bit higher. But in terms of the breakdown, guys, you've got your two big levels now. You should be taken care of. If there is a sell-off again later on this weekend, 3-1-4-4 can come into play relatively easily for you guys. Now, let's talk PONKE. And this was a banger, straight into the pocket. And it's funny, bro. On the show, I was actually saying, like, looking at this PONKE chart, and I said, funnily enough, when you look at a chart like this, it's so weird, but it almost dictates the whole market. And I was saying, it's like PONKE wants to tell us that the whole market needs to dump another 10-11%. And funny enough, because it wasn't in that zone, and then obviously we got that dump, and now PONKE has moved into the zone. But I've had a nightmare situation trying to manage PONKE and FARTCOIN on this 𝗙𝗆𝗆 at the moment. And you can see PONKE didn't catch all the orders. And the first one that it got yesterday, we had a nice pump, and I set my stop loss up there. So we got a nice move, and then I set the stop. So it only picked up the second one. And now in terms of lower down, I've still got orders waiting on PONKE at 12 and at 115. So we are waiting to see if those are going to hit. But this trade is now turning green, obviously, and I don't want to get caught in the situation where it turns red. So I'm going to start moving my stop a little bit higher up there and just keep it above entry. I don't want to turn into an area now where we start losing money when they go green, especially in these conditions. Okay, so PONKE nailed the zone there. Let's talk FARTCOIN as well. We didn't quite hit this one. Okay, this one didn't hit the big zone to the downside, and I've found myself in a position like managing that FARTCOIN trade, cutting a little bit, adding a little bit, and trying to get momentum on that thing. But in terms of FARTCOIN, I do think it can eventually turn. We know the whales love trading this thing, and it will make some kind of comeback. You can see this cash flow. We just want this to level out and start turning a little bit to the upside, and then I think we're going to get momentum. So all I'm trying to do here is make sure that FARTCOIN holds this low now after that dump. So if we do get, a little pullback here, I'm obviously going to look to try and add on this thing. And with the anticipation that we are going to get a higher low, and then we're going to get a push on FARTCOIN, because we do have some interesting zones a little bit higher up here for us on FARTCOIN. Look at those nice levels there that we could easily go and attack. So right now for me, guys, options for FARTCOIN support, 1.05, and you're going to be using 1 as your next support zone, 1.05 and 1. And then yesterday we picked up that bullish divergence, and ideally we get another one. Okay, so we maybe just we get another hidden divergence or some kind of print here to the upside, and then we'll keep grinding higher. Okay, first real
that's
rinse.
Usually, Dylan, sorry if I may add, that's usually your sign though on a trade. You were just saying on FART that you felt like it kind of didn't hit your zone, and you found yourself managing that trade. To the people out there, that kind of that's a sign for you when your alts hit a level and they're bouncing, and you find yourself looking at 1 or 2 trades that are feeling sketchy and lagging behind, and kind of looking slow. That kind of gives you an indication that it probably wants to go a little bit lower.
Yeah, it's and it's not nice when it doesn't hit the zone. I always get a little bit uncomfortable here. So I've been a little bit concerned about that, and I was cutting position, adding, cutting, just trying to manage it, because I didn't want to exit, because I knew we were going to get some kind of pop at some point. So yeah, guys, it's just one of those things. Trade management, obviously, sometimes I don't want to cut the whole position in case there's weakness. Okay, so PONKE, you guys, did we cover this?
Yeah.
Did I cover this?
Yeah, you just did right before FART.
Jeez, have I gone mad? Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. So, guys, PONKE, yes, you know the story here. Upside targets for this guy. 15 is what you're looking at. 0.15. If there is a nice run here, that is a simple zone there for us. Look at that. Okay. So, looking for this push up, 0.15 on PONKE. Anybody that got those entries lower down, well done. I only picked up that one extra one. Okay. So, exit zone is still close under 1.2 or close under 1.15. And that is obviously relying on, a kind pullback later on this weekend. So looking for this guy to hold now between 1.3 and 1.2. That looks like a decent entry zone here. We can see this 12-hour is trying to do something here for us at the moment. Okay, so interesting guide. It was funny. It did tell us a story, though, this PONKE yesterday. And Michael van Veen is in the chat. Hello, sir. Welcome. And let's see who's 𝗙𝗆𝗆𝗆. Hello, sir. Is this a new person I've seen in the chats? I haven't seen this man before. Welcome to live trading. Okay, Panda. I think give us some of your Panda action here. Oh, let me just show them this bonk. Okay, so guys, anyone trading bonk with me for that bot trade against 𝗏𝗏𝗡, all my orders have now hit. Okay, so bonk dropped into our zone, and we are fully now in this trade. Now, this is literally now a bounce now, cut it off for me. This is like, I don't use this lightly. We use this in emergencies, and we are literally there now for bonk. So we've slotted into our zone. We've got the bounce. My orders are picked up. I'm now in $31,600 long here on bonk. And in terms of the plan, this was the plan. Okay, this is what we looked at yesterday on the show. And now we are locked in. Those entries are locked in. If you got the entries, well, we in it together, guys. We in it to win it together, or we're going to get rinsed together here. I was looking for this nice move. And then in terms of upside for me for bonk, anyone that got that with me, the upside here for me, probably another 8%, maybe another 10, 11% here left for us on bonk. Okay, so just playing safe here. Let's see how that goes. Now, Syed got smashed by Jasmy. I think the biggest insult for me, Panda, is getting smashed by Litecoin.
Yeah. I don't remember the last time I heard, man, I got wrecked on Litecoin. I think that was 2 cycles ago.
It's so shit. Okay.
It is.
Okay. What have you got for us, bro? What have you got?
Speaking of bonk, that's funny that you mentioned that, because I was looking at bonk on the 8-hour, because I have this theory, looking at all these charts. I will do my best to get a breakout or 2 in. I'm just not super comfortable with how things are going right now over this weekend, but I think we're seeing a lot of punky situations here, and if I show my chart, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Because the bonk that you're talking about, you were saying bounce now or cut it off. This is the area that I was looking at on the 8-hour, because the picture that I'm about to paint, if I take the ticker out and I show you a couple of charts, I don't think you'll think that these charts are different. You'll think it's the same token, because bonk is just bouncing off a very, very, very strong level on the 8-hour. And I'm tying in some monthly levels and weekly levels at the same time. So it's respecting this rising trend, and it just bounced off last month's mid level and a very strong bullish block, and it's kind of sitting there. It bounced and it's sitting and consolidating there. I like that because this is ready for the next move. So don't take my word for it, but in the next flush, if there is a flush, I highly suspect that bonk is going to hold these lows, and we're just going to round trip and off we go. Because one thing I wanted to bring up, for example, was WIF on the higher time frame. You'll see here that if I just put a simple rising trend also on the 8-hour or the daily, we're coming into a reset oversold zone. And if you look at previous, just back testing this, WIF kind of needs a couple of prints on the 4-hour or the 8-hour before it gets to move. So we have alts hitting their zones, and some are just kind of sitting in no man's land at the moment.
This WIF looks like it wants to come down, bro.
That's what I'm saying, right? So because if I pull up the levels, it's not touching major monthly levels yet. So it's just sitting under the daily open, which is kind of irrelevant in the grand scheme of things in this move. So we might see something like this. This is again 4-hour to 8-hour chart, guys. So we go into the daily open or last week's low, we get rejected, we come back, and then the sell-off Asia comes in. We tag our levels on the monthly level, we deviate, and we hold the rising trend, and off we go. This is one, and this is setup I'll drop in Chart Hackers. And then I have H-bar that looks extremely similar to this. If I go even on the daily, you'll see that the pullback, it did pull back onto the quarterly level and monthly level, but it still kind of needs to be it needs to come back down a little bit. If I put on the 4-hour or the 8-hour, I believe there was a pull where it's sitting on a major 618, right? Yeah. So it's kind of giving the same indication as WIF. So I'm waiting for this to pull back. This could be just holding a current like 0.5 fib pull, maybe from this low or something like that, but it's not sitting on a convincing zone, right? So and again, look at the stocks on the 8-hour and the 4-hour. Usually I take these stocks very seriously after I pass like the 2-hour mark on the charts, because they do pan off and they do play out, and we're just starting to turn. But that doesn't say that on the next flush we see something just as simple as this, kind of seeing this smooth out a little bit. That gives more time for this to come back down, and then we start to see this turn. So HBAR is definitely on my radar for Monday, or possibly
What are
even
your levels
Tuesday.
there, just for the guys so they can hear? Can you zoom in a little bit there for us?
So if I were to set a limit order, I would be putting a limit order around 0.1526. That's 0.1526. And then a stop loss would be a 4-hour close under 0.1421. 0.1421.
There you go, guys. Look who's in the chat. Thomas is here. Thomas, the original inventor of the bullhorn. What a legend. Thomas, it's always good that you come here, bro. Nice to see you. And thanks for my bullhorn that I still use so often. This guy's a legend. He made me this bullhorn when I first started streaming.
I remember that.
What else we got?
Okay,
you
so if we just go back to WIF, if people want the levels, this is a major or macro FIP 618. Ties in also with a bullish block on the daily, I believe. So I would be putting in a limit order around 0.6958, and again a 4-hour close under 0.649. So
how much is that dump from here? Just so the guys know.
I think 15ish, 16ish%.
Okay, you hear that, guys, from Panda? We're going to hell. We're going to hell. Okay.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with PONKE, and by the way, FART was the same exact thing when you were pointing out that 2 days ago, I think the 1.06 level, we were sitting like a good 9% above that. And then I was sitting there, I kid you not, I was watching the 5-minute chart on FART because I was gonna play a breakout. And then I see this like cascading God candles to the downside while everything was pulling a couple of percentages. FARTCoin dumped like a nice 7-8% and it hit that 1.08, 1.07 region. So that tells me that tokens like WIF, like HBAR that I'm pointing out here, these pulls, you know, don't think that all other alts will pull this much. I think it's going to be one of those, you know, market maker moves where they send one candle down and then a V-shaped recovery, and then we consolidate under whatever levels. But I think this is going to be very quick, and you know, whoever is in a trade already in WIF might feel the pain, but I don't think like people are going to notice that very quick pullback, because that's what happened with PONKE as well.
But look, that PONKE was quick and filthy. But remember, with all these tokens, guys, they actually, like, it's very rare that you get a major reversal if they haven't hit a major zone. It's very unusual. So, you know, we want to see a major level hit here before we get the big reversal. And unfortunately, if WIF we're using as a guide, and sometimes it can tell you a story about the market, like we used literally PONKE told us the market was going to fall over yesterday, funnily enough. And WIF could be telling a story here as well, that there might be a little bit more downside now that it's lost that 0.5. Okay, so something interesting going on here. Mia says, will bonk drop lower? Mia, I mean, it's hit our zone. We locked in here. 0.0153, Mia. That is my support that I'm using. That is major support, and a close under 149 is probably an exit plan. There is another level, Mia, at 135 on bonk. That is something interesting there for us. Yeah, let's see what Panda's got here. Yeah, there you go. You got it there, 135.
Yeah, I'm being realistic. I'm not trying to be a bear. If bonk loses this low, the lows here on the 8-hour, I think the whole market will be going to hell, to be completely honest with you. I'm only saying that because I still have this theory of some alts still need to pull back and some alts will hold their major levels. This is a major level for bonk right here, and it's consolidating and it's respecting that. What I like about it is it didn't just bounce and did give you a dead cat bounce on a Saturday or Sunday and then fall back, right? It came back, it touched that macro rising trend, and it's sitting on one of its biggest bullish blocks and it's consolidating. So that tells me it's coiling up, it's getting ready, while the rest pull back. Because, you know, Mia, you can't tell me that FART and PONKE and all these memes are, you know, pumping and pumping and pumping, and WIF didn't even move 5%. You know what I mean? It's telling me a story. So actually, we're getting a move here on bonk, possibly. I'll go through the other charts, and then I think we might have something here on bonk, like a 5% scalpy. The last one I have, the last one I have on the higher time frames is Floki, believe it or not, because if I just pull this out, you would think that you're looking at the WIF chart that I just pulled, right? It's sitting exactly under that 0.5 fib from the 8-hour and 9-hour, the daily chart. Still didn't get a significant rising trend touch. You know, I kind of don't take these as sacred, but I like to have a couple of touches. You got 1, 2, that's not enough for me. 618 is sitting here, juicy as hell. And then also it's tying with, again, a major bullish block here. So it only makes sense for 𝗏𝗀𝗃 to pull back, get a rejection off the 0.5 fib, and then again, just like what I'm thinking for WIF, a couple of, you know, big chunky red candles followed by a V-shaped recovery, and then we move it to the 382 followed by a rejection, whatever. But at least we want to catch this, because with yesterday's dump, a dead cat bounce on these alts is going to be like 20%, 25% move.
How deep is this move?
This is also, again, 15 to 16. It's a copy paste to WIF, man. Like copy paste.
I'm telling you, if 𝗏𝗀𝗃 and WIF are doing 15, 16, Bonk's going to join them. 10, 15. It's going to.
I think, but I don't think it will sit and consolidate under. I mean, I don't know. I'm just, you know, I'm mindful of the dump that's incoming and it's imminent. And you know, if anything, we were just talking about that yesterday in the group. No, I think in hindsight, I think we should have, you know, we had a bunch of shorts running, but I think we were a tad bit too late to the short party.
Yeah.
Right. I think we could have had more shorts in play, or bigger positions at least. And that's something I'm definitely going to be keeping in mind. You know, when we're getting all these bullish news, usually I do hedge short, like you know, like I learned from you and stuff. But I think I'll go a little bit heavier on the shorts on the next rally for sure.
So I'm busy plotting out a virtual short idea here for you guys. What else are you cooking there? What's cooking?
That's it. That's it on the higher time frames. And now I'm just seeing these candles on 𝗏𝗀𝗃 and Bonk, 𝗏𝗀𝗃 and WIF. I think we might be getting something here. So if you want to jump to your charts, I can try to see if there's like a scalp that we can take on the show.
Yeah,
because I know people love that.
For us. Guys, we're looking for a little trade. Well, look, SPX is one of them here. It keeps bouncing off this VWAP, but if you want to do degen shit with me, just understand we're taking degen risks. But here's SPX. I'm tracking it on the 5 minutes, and this is now my second bounce off this zone. You can see I'm actually kind of just waiting now for this little reset here. So we're waiting for this oscillator to come down here and then start resetting. And this is the 5 minutes. So we're going to need a few more candles. But I'm sitting in this SPX, and we're looking for some kind of move here. So ideally we hold this level here and then start cooking. Otherwise, we're probably going to come here for that move there on that 618. And then the upside target for me on SPX is going to be 1.04, which we are looking at there. And that is probably where we get some kind of short on this guy. Okay, so 1.03 to 1.04 is the target. As short term, this is 5 minute degen stuff, guys. And then in terms of the long here, I'm sitting in SPX at the moment, and we can push this thing down to 96. Don't want to go much lower than 96 there if this is going to start playing in my favor. Yeah, don't want to lose that 96 zone. Okay, so we're just monitoring that. I am sitting in this at the moment. There it is. Okay, there's SPX. And let's see if we get a little bit of action here. If we get a pop, we can just quickly add a bit there and see if we can get some momentum going. Now, in terms of a possible, well, there's two things happening here. There's either a virtual breakout coming. Well, I think there is a virtual breakout coming, but I'm going to leave that in Panda's hands. He's going to look at that. He's my breakout. He's my breakout king. But you can see what's going on. Yeah, this is virtual. I'm going to remove these order blocks now. I just wanted to show you guys the resistance zone. So you can see we are in major resistance areas here at the moment for virtual, and we are looking at a possible reversal. So if we do get a reversal here, we're looking for a pop and then some kind of divergence, and that should give us some kind of short opportunity. And for me, the obvious zone for me on virtual is going to be 2.2 up to about 2.23 as a possible short reaction zone there. And then alternatively, we've got 2.28 to 2.3 as a possible short zone. Okay, so just waiting for this pop. We want to see the divergence on the 30 minutes. So that means we want to see a lower high on the oscillator, and we want to see a new high on the price. So the price must go higher, the oscillator must turn lower, and then we're looking for a little reversal. And I know it's funny to say, buy high, sell low. Paul, what are you doing there, bro? Sounds like Mr. Win at the moment. Did you hear he got liquidated again? 103K. Did you hear that?
Really?
Yeah, he took it, eh?
Oh my God.
He got liquidated at like 103. I think it was quite rough.
I think he really needs to take your course, Dylan.
I'm trying to get him on the show, really, because I think the man's got the biggest balls in history, and like I admire his balls. But imagine remember when he went short on support and we went long?
Yeah.
Like, imagine he did that. It would be incredible.
He would have driven our market. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He would have been our squeeze.
Yeah, for sure. Mark says, Dylan, are we shorting to hell if monthly candle closed below last month? Look, Mark, basically what I'm seeing here, sir, and this is obviously for everyone, but it's not looking good. Okay, we're in a downtrend now, and we need to treat things differently. Remember when we were in this uptrend, okay, all we saw was the bearish divergence, and BTC kept grinding, okay? So now we're moving into this downtrend at the moment, and we're going to see things like bullish divergence, but we're only going to get small moves out of BTC. I think we're coming down a long way here. I'm not confident that we are going to break new highs anytime soon. So, my view is we're going to play these bounces, but in terms of what we're looking at now, this is downtrend time, Mark. And I think we're going to have short moves to the upside. And I think the shorting is going to come into play a lot more than before. Now, previously, we were trying to short hype and we were trying to short a lot of tokens during that initial run, and we were getting tiny moves. We're getting 5%, 8%. Now I think it's on. So any strong bounces in the market, we can look to short now and have a little bit of fun.
100%.
Okay, Panda, give us some stuff, bro.
Okay, I'm eyeing 𝗬𝗎 on the 15, bonk on the 15 as well. I like this. Let me just move this real quick. A very, 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 very similar picture to what you're saying on SPX. So I like this consolidation here. It's about 2%. I am still waiting for this divergence to play out. Waiting for lower high, for this to print. Just something like this, for this to print, and then this will be like again, mini tiny blow off top on the 5 and the 15 minute. That's how usually I catch my breakouts, and I treat them like a scalp. So there could be a 4% move here. If you're longing now, not worth it, because your stop loss is about 1.8%. So the risk to reward is not really ideal. But I'm scanning everything while you're talking, and while you're explaining SPX, you pretty much did a blanket approach on all of these alts that I'm looking at now. If I look at MOG, for example, it's the same thing. It's getting ready. Floki as well. Whoops. Floki also is getting ready. You'll see a lot of, for people watching, put your charts on the 15-minute, and you will find these consolidation clusters right here. You'll see that they're nearing the top to pop kind of thing. For any scalps, your stop loss usually would go under the clusters, but I would also try to enter on the test of the bottom of these clusters. So it doesn't make any sense for you to long now for a potential 3.5% move with a 1.6% stop loss. So I don't want to sound repetitive. I know people want an entry, but in all honesty, guys, a lot of the alts, look at this. It might break out now. A lot of the alts are looking exactly the same on the 15-minute for a pop. They're all gearing up for a pop. But yet again, if every single alt is gearing for a pop, that's usually a little trap on the shorter time frames, because usually you want to find these one-offs that are about to pop, but everything just looks like it's about to pop on the 15. Look at this. You got bonk is right here. With it's already at the top of the cluster. You see what I mean? AI, give me any random AI XBT. I guarantee you, there you go. It's consolidating a little bit more, and it's a little bit sloppy here, but fine. AI 16Z, for example. There we go. AI, that's technically popping right now, but I am not a fan of this major wick, because if anything, your stop loss will have to go under this wick. But this is popping, and then if Dylan was showing you the resistance area by bearish blocks. We got the quantum reactor sitting right here, so that acting like a lot of resistance. So yeah, grass is actually grinding up. Don't like this deviation. I'll pass on this one. MOG, here you go. Here's your consolidation. It's a cut and dry case kind of thing. And
I always want to trade this AI XBT. Go back to that. Give me your panda analysis on this thing.
The only thing I don't like is this sloppy movement, because it tells you it's a lot of manipulation here, but it's about to close this candle after this bearish block. Look at this. That leads to a squeeze right there. When we have a bearish block and then you get a strong candle that is closing above and is consistently sitting above, we just want to see this close right now. That tells you that it's basically collected all these orders and it's absorbing the selling pressure. You know what I mean? So that tells me that, okay, it's about to do at least a 3% move, if not a 5% to this block.
When entry?
When entry, give me 12 minutes. If not, you can enter now, but your stop loss is 3.6%. I need 12 minutes to see the close of this candle, unless, okay, we got 2 minutes on the 5 minutes. Let's see if we just wick this out, and then we will enter on the pullback. So let's see if we just get this, or whatever scalpers that were here get stopped out, and then we kind of just drag a little bit, we'll enter here. And then most likely we'll put our stop loss under the 5-minute POC, which is going to be around 2.2%. But it's a very tight stop loss.
Cool. I'm going to have a crack at this. Chris says AIXBT will drop hard soon. Yeah, I think everything's going to drop hard soon. Let's just try and get one more pump out of this thing, and let's look for a couple of short zones here for you guys.
Yeah, look at this bonk, man.
Mia, we're alive. Mia, it's still alive. Is Mia still here? You just got to grind this bonk back here. We've got to get it. Oh, see, it's looking good now. I'm only negative $300. We're fighting back. Fighting back, yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Rune is actually looking bullish, boss. Like, forget scalping. Rune is actually posturing bullishly. What is happening to the market? You got rinsed by Litecoin. I'm saying Rune is bullish. What the fuck, dude? Is this real life?
Rune and Litecoin. No, that Litecoin. I'm telling you now, I'm never trading Litecoin ever again. I fucking doubted it from the beginning. And I was like, I'm not a fan of this dog shit. And yeah, it
was such a sell the news event, huh?
Yeah, it was terrible. So fucking terrible. Okay, this AIXBT, bro. I'm having a crack.
Yeah, there we go.
SPX is moving.
I just want to take this out. I'd much rather go with a higher entry. I'll take this with you. I'll put my money where my mouth is.
I'm fucking long AIXBT here. My stop options are, I'll tell you what mine are here for me right now. 1837 close under, or 178.
You're going full on the breakout candle stop loss.
Yeah, I'm literally banking on this breakout candle, so I'm trying to limit my risk here a little bit. Yeah. Michelle, I know the pain, but you know what? Stay away from that dog shit, because we know that Litecoin's a little bit up, a little bit down. It's not exciting. We're going to catch like a Moodeng, or we're going to catch like a big short on one of these others, like Zcash. That thing was an absolute banger in the end. That closed by a TP for me. I must say that Zcash saved my ass. Let me show you guys. This is my current stop zones here, or stop options on AIXBT, guys. Okay, so guys, remember, all the stuff we talk about is sitting in the show description. You can just go under more there, and you can see the exchanges that we trade with. You can see my accelerator courses there, chart hackers is there, everything is there. Just go under the show description, click on more, and then click on whatever excites you. Okay, where's the Zcash? Let me just find this. There it is. Okay, let me refresh this. Leandro says he's the licky master. Guys, it was messy out there. Okay, you definitely not alone taking hits. I mean, that fucking Litecoin, bro. I can't believe it. It's the worst. It's the worst token to get nailed from. Okay, here's Zcash. So this was a nice short. I closed via TP on Blowfin. So that's helped my Blowfin account stay alive. Okay, so that was good. We've kept that account nice and flat, considering all the choppy shit going down at the moment. And in terms of Zcash straight into a bounce zone, but there's nothing fresh here for me other than a possible short coming later for you guys. And this is actually quite exciting because I think, if we forget about the Zcash, we're going to forget that there's a possible short opportunity coming up here. So take a look at this. We're going to look for this reversal. Oh, this is so nice. Okay, let's get these splits in there as well. Yeah. Okay, you can see that big previous support. We're going to flip that into resistance. What you often see in these situations is they pump it into those types of zones. And then what you find is they just enter back into that area and then there's a rejection. Okay, so that is kind of how I would look to play this. So there's a possible short coming on Zcash from 50.5 to 51.8. That's a possible rejection zone. So if there's a big pump here later, look out there. Okay, we can short this one again. So 50.5 to 51.8, and then that could be one that takes you a little bit lower. Okay, you can see we've got lower levels down there, and we might go and visit those areas. So that, and this kind of falls into that question that Mark was asking as well. We've now fallen over. So typically you do print lower highs, and then you start these downtrends until the trend changes again. So right now, yeah, we're looking to short anything here that pumps. And for me, that's an absolute banger zone. In fact, I'm going to set my alarm here at the moment, and we're going to put that on. So do the same there, guys. 50.5 to 51.8 is a really nice possible short zone on Zcash, okay? And we'll leave all these charts in Chart Hackers for you guys, obviously. Okay, let's just look at this virtual quickly. Where's my virtual chart here? What have I done with it?
It's grinding at that order block on the 15th, but it has a 0.5 fib right above it and a VWAP.
I've lost my virtual chart. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So yeah, guys, it's very simple. It's at a resistance zone. We know that, and it's looking bearish on the 30. What would be the safest move here for me is a divergence print. And if we get that bearish divergence print and you see it either at one of these zones, then I think you can have a crack at the short. Right now, this thing looks like it's building for a little pop. Okay, so then we'll get this little pop and then a short-lived rejection and then send that one lower. I think that's pretty much how I see this one playing out. Yeah, obviously could be wrong and they could absolutely pump this thing. But you can see if you track this VWAP, look at that. Bang, bang, bang. So we're just looking for that VWAP projection there. Makes a lot of sense to me. Sabina says, I'm patient. I'm not looking to get wrecked. Yeah, just be patient, guys. I do think at the end of this weekend, if there is more pumpage, we're going to get a massive sell-off and it's going to give you some entry opportunities. As usual, just track your big levels. And we've covered a lot of those big levels yesterday when you've obviously seen a lot of them now. And Panda's given you some dark places to go to. 16% down on HBAR and WIF, bro. Fuck me. Okay, what else you got?
I'm looking at a breakout on Tau right now as we speak.
Okay, when entry?
1 second.
Am I long?
No. No, not until we clear this, nice. But this is a good sign. Your AIXPT, I want to keep it live because look, this is exactly what I mean. I wanted to take this out. We come back top of the cluster, and I want to hold for a little bit.
Okay, so where do we add?
That I was gonna tell you when to add at the close of this 5 minutes.
Okay, so tell me when. I'm ready to push buttons.
Yeah.
This tower looks good, guys.
Yeah, because also I'm looking at the higher time frame into a short possibly. If I go on the 4 hour or even the 2 hour, this area doesn't look too bad for a small rejection. And then this area 460 seems to be a good place for a short given the stocks and where we're sitting at and the amount of times it got rejected from this area. Not to mention that if we zoom out on the 4,
I can't see the deviation.
Oh, can you not see my...
Yeah, it's not clear. So just zoom in a little bit there on that chart so we can see it.
Yeah.
460.
So 465 possibly to 480-ish because we got to keep in mind this wick. Yeah. And this is this is not a scalp short. This will be like a 2-hour short possibly. So I'm just kind of eyeing it. I'm not putting a setup here because it's no trigger whatsoever, or there's no indication as of now, but I'm eyeing this because if we just slowly grind here, we're most likely going to start toppling over by Monday. And 𝗏, by the way, has been, it's been very strong since the dump. It recovered one of the strongest right off the bat. So usually those are the ones the strongest out of the bat. When the next flush comes, usually are the first one to topple down, right?
Okay.
So yeah. So see, I mean, it's looking like a fake out on the alts that we're looking at. Yep. So now we're back in the box. I would even, cut this. If I was scalping,
am I cutting 𝗖𝗥𝗏𝗃 already?
If I was scalping degen 3 minutes, I might jump out of this and just find another one because this is a strong rejection. Only reason why I say that is we wanted to take out this wick and hold. That shows you that we're ready to kind of make our next move out of this box. But the fact that we didn't even hold, we just wicked and we're coming back down, most likely we might sit in this box and then lose it. You never want to see body closes.
I want to interrupt Panda here quickly because breakout trading is a specific skill. Okay, you got to learn it in the trenches, in the filth. Okay, and this is my breakout man. Okay, Panda, and Panda's got a lot of information to share here. And a lot of times he sends me breakouts. I just kind of take them and I don't even look at the charts because it's a specific skill. But he obviously teaches a lot of the stuff and the thought process behind it in Chart Hacker. So if this is sounding interesting to you and there's a little bit of a concept around some breakout trading, well, maybe he's the man you need to be following in Chart Hackers. Okay, there you go. Continue, sir. Continue.
Yeah, no, yeah, with breakouts on the 3 and the 5 minutes, it's a hit and miss and you move on kind of thing. I know your approach. We let the trades cook and we give them room to breathe. But I much rather take the L and move on to something that's gonna move 3% or whatever. If we didn't get it right, the quicker we cut it, the faster we can move on. It will sit, it will mess with you. Yeah, I mean, you see that it looked like we were recovering, but then it'll pull back. This is not really showing me big signs of strength ready to move. The only hopium I have on the 5 minute would be my favorite, move on the stock where it starts to do this peak and valley and the divergence, which leads to a fake move upwards and then we lose it. So, it's not that big of a loss for us anyways. It's a 2% stop loss. And I'm guessing, actually, I'm not guessing. I'm sure whoever took this is not highly leveraged, right? So
I'm not highly leveraged, bro.
Yeah, there we go. We can stay in it. Okay, now it's looking, again, promising. We always want the candle closes. On a breakout on the 5 minute, we always want to close body close from previous wicks. That tells me that we gained temporarily acceptance outside of this box.
So is this good so far? Yes,
yeah, so far so good. So far so good. We might even, you can even add a tiny tad bit to get your average entry around a close under these wicks. That's your new stop loss.
Okay, so right now I'm actually going to lock in my stop loss now at 183.6. Is that fine with you? Is that the right?
Yeah, that's your original stop loss. So you can even add a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit on this trade actually right now. So if you put in, I don't know, $1,000 in this, I would add like 200 on it.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy because you don't want to increase your stop loss. And
my average entry went up there now a little bit. Okay, let's see. We $10,000 long. Okay, let's see.
So it's eating at this. That's good. Now it's good. Now look at this. We're 10 seconds away from close of this candle.
Let's go.
So we might kind of trickle down, give another fake move to the downside on the 5 minute. Believe it or not, on the 3 and the 5 minute, like those fake outs and fake downs, there is a theory to that. We say deviations on the 4 hour and the 8 hour is very high conviction, but also on the 3 minute and the 5 minute, it gives you conviction for that tiny move that you're set up for, right?
Guys, I mean, this guy's got skills on breakouts. I can't even talk this language, but it's always good to hear that there's a method. There's a method to the madness. I like it.
There's a method to the madness, sir.
SPX, good so far, guys. Nice bounce off that 382 and VWAP again. Now we really need this thing to follow through. If we're going to get our TP and we're going to get our short zone, remember we're waiting a little bit higher there. For this SPX, but okay, it's on its way. Little pop there at the moment. Let's see if we can get some energy there. Geez, bro, this BTC. I had this order. Look at this, bro. 103K.
That tells you everything, right?
I had 0.7, yeah, $75,000 order waiting there to add to that long. And
honestly, I would leave it there because you know they're gonna come back to get these orders. The amount of times this happened to me where it missed my my order. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take that margin and grow other trades. And then US opens, they flush everyone down, and where I had my order gets filled. You know what I mean? So
okay, so I'm not trading the 𝗏𝗏 yet, eh? We're not doing this.
No. We took one scalp. Let's not push it.
Okay, let's not overdo it. William says Sol gut feel. William, let's look at Sol again. You might have missed it earlier. Look, Sol will push up, but again, not super bullish on Sol. You can see immediately where you can get rejections. In fact, I think there's going to be an absolute fucking banger here on Sol if there's momentum this weekend. Now, let's not get overly excited, but in terms of a banger, fucking short zone here. Excuse my language today. Must be a Saturday. 170, guys. That's a big short zone there for me. That undercarriage really looks fun. Okay, we've got VWAP here as well. 170, somewhere in that region. So 165 to 170 is going to be my higher conviction short zone here for Sol. Somewhere like that. Makes sense to me. And then maybe send this one to hell. So if that helps in terms of a TP for anybody who's long Sol, you're probably going to get about a 14-15% dump there after that push. Okay, so we'll make sure this is in 166 to 170. You can see there is momentum, and if the momentum continues, look out for a rejection just here, 160. You can see why. Little undercarriage there as well, and then the short zone is going to be higher up there. For me, but again, Sol hasn't been shooting the lights out lately, and you can see I've been building a little position, but not getting much traction at the moment. For me, it's all about this bonk. Mia, we're about to break even here. I'm super excited.
Hey, boss.
God, they sent me to hell. Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt you. It's either you have a whale in your chat, or there is a method to the madness. You want to pull up 𝗂𝗏𝗃?
Is it moving? Guys, you sickos. Okay, there you go. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. If you took this, it's a scalp. You're up 2.5%. I would put my stop losses now to entry, or I would start building.
Okay, my stop loss is at entry, guys. Now this is a break-free trade. Okay, we break even now. We free trade. Risk is free. Okay, let it ride now. Okay, we $10,000 long here. This thing's cooking. Okay, nice, bro.
You'll get. I'll shave some TP at 1986. I'll definitely take some profit.
SPX, bro.
Oh my goodness. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait for it to pull back. God damn it, man. God damn it.
Are you getting some of these trades? Let us know in the chat. Did you get SPX and AIXBT? Let us know, okay? If you're enjoying this content, obviously we do this in Hackers. Come and hang out with us. And VetMeta, what is the best decision you ever made, bro?
That's a chef's kiss right there, SPX and AIXBT. Like that's a scalper's chef's kiss, boss. I'm telling you.
I fucking love this shit. Wow. Let's see. 𝗙𝗆𝗍 says Sui Degens long at the bottom. Yeah, guys. I mean, I think we hit a good Sui zone there. Remember, I cover these trades, guys. I cover these setups every single day, Monday to Friday. I cover these setups on my show. You just got to attend. And I just want to remind everybody again, the best days to watch my show is when the market is red and you're feeling depressed and you're hating life. That is when you come out, because that is where we lock in these big entry zones. And that is where that forms the foundation of a lot of our big trades that we get. Okay, so it's just about, being around on the red days. You got to do the work, obviously, and come and join me. I'm looking at Peppy here, Panda. It front ran a big zone. Unfortunately, after stopping me, I got fucking rinsed on Peppy as well. Look at that. I mean, I took a blow there.
I'm mad at it.
Reversal's coming, but I think, anything we're seeing now is kind of short-lived. Mia, we are $12 away from break even here on $33. We're green. Okay, we finally green. Oh my god! Come on, let's go.
I might take that virtual. I might.
Are we gonna?
I might. It's kind of slipping right now. You're already long in it, right?
No, I'm not long virtual. I was waiting for the short, but that's breaking out. We can trade this thing, bro. I'll trade a breakout with the top under the candle. But
you have 2.24 is a very strong rejection area. Should be on the 15. Virtual is looking like it's SPX or virtual? God damn it.
I'm going to put a stop under the breakout candle, bro. We'll keep it
on the
simple.
15.
Yeah, this is 15 minutes.
Okay, we're going into a 382 right now on the 15, so that's why. And the VWAP is sitting right at the bottom of the breakout candle. So putting it right under there is, you know, it might do exactly what AIXBT did. Remember, where it kind of broke out, showed us that it was doing a fake out to the downside, and then kind of recovered and went back up. So I would move it down just a tad bit. So go down to like something like 0.9948
on virtual.
Yeah.
So I'm at 2.06.
You're at
2.06.
Oh, so I'm looking at SPX.
Are we trading?
Yeah, you're fine. I'm looking at SPX.
Okay, I've got 2.06. So, guys, what we're looking for is this little divergence breakout here. You see that? So we're looking to print bearish divergence or whatever. Let's see what they're going to give us. Oh, you can see it's pushing up already. Let's see what they give us here. But we're looking for the short little move. So it's 2.2 or 2.29 is pretty much what we're looking at there. Is James in the chat? Where's James? Is he here?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the chats. Comments. No, I don't think so. No, I don't see him in the chat.
Okay, little rejection on SPX here.
Same thing, AIXBT. So that means dominance is probably pushing up just a tad bit on the 15.
Okay, you can see, oh, maybe we should have taken there. Look at this. Here's that VWAP right here. Sitting right here.
That's the 382 also that's showing on the hot zone.
Oh, guys, careful. If you're in profit here, possible time to take some profit.
Yeah, they do that to you.
Rejection.
They do that to you on the breakout.
You got to be so quick in and out. Am I going to get rinsed here, bro? Come on, virtual.
No, it's coming in on the like I can I can explain the concept just a tad bit more if you want to the peoples, but you're fine for now because it's bouncing off the previous 5-minute wicks. So it's kind of giving you an indication that maybe we might be flipping previous resistance into tiny support. So I'm watching it for you.
Cooking, bro. We're 300 up now. It's going. AIXBT is 200 up.
Let's go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, looking good.
It's recovering now.
Good.
Virtual is not.
Okay, bro, we actually got to jump off. Guys, if you like this, Crypto Lady says James is recovering from the rinse. James was bearish yesterday, and he got it right. He was bearish, and that market came and fell over. Guys, if you enjoy this content, come join us in Hackers. We're going to do this every Saturday for you guys. We're going to cover some breakout degen trading, and obviously different guys of the team from Chart Hackers will be here trading with me or with Panda or whoever over the next couple of weeks. So if you guys are enjoying it, it's going to become a regular thing. And obviously we can't guarantee the time because we like to wait for the market to do something before we just jump on. But generally it's going to be round about this type of time if we can lock it in. Okay, so if you're enjoying it, you know where to find us. All the stuff is in the show description below. Guys, well done on AIXBT and SPX. Don't forget to take profit. I'm probably going to get round tripped here now as I close, so I'm going to bank some, and then we back tomorrow. Panda, thanks, bro. Any last words for the people? What do they need to do? Anything else?
Guys, any entries you get on the weekend, you're not special, and the entries are not special. They're going to get flushed out. So therefore, 3-4% up, take your profit, move on. We will get flushed out sometime next week. So, there you go. Be careful.
There you go. Okay, there you go. That's sound advice, guys. Okay, don't hang on too long. In fact, I'm going to close one or two of these things now. Okay, don't hang on too long. We'll see you guys later.
Juicy, extremely juicy.